Well, this is sort of a 2 week, 3 weeks, whatever it's been that I've had this a Vevor lathe, and it's been a journey. Um, 99% of my problems I've had with this has to do with one tiny lack of quality control, and that's on the belt pulley on the motor shaft. And it's obvious when I was trying to tighten it after finding out it was loose and causing damages to the motor drive shaft. I discovered that the hole for the screw, retaining screw, was not drilled all the way through, nor was it tapped all the way through. So it apparently just got into the keyway enough that in their apparently very quick test at the factory, I thought it was okay, I guess. Now, a lot of videos that I've looked at, I recommend you tear the hole when you first get the press, the lathe. You tear it all down, clean it up, put it back together again, checking for loose screws and this, that, and the other. And I did not do that. I'm not a mechanic. In my youth, in the Stone Age, I was a pretty fair shade tree mechanic, but that was more than 50 years ago. Anyway, so I didn't do that. And it was right out of the box. When I first fired it up, it was noisy. And it was not consistently noisy. And I jumped right in, turning rebar and threaded rod, which is probably the toughest thing I could do with a lathe of this size. And I kept having stalls and all kinds of problems, which I attributed to the material I was trying to turn. And the stalls got worse and worse and worse. And in point of fact, it wasn't really stalls at all. It was just the fact that the pulley kept quit turning and the motor was actually running. And of course, that's cutting grooves and really boogering up the shaft. But anyway, so when I discovered that, I attempted to remediate the fact that the hole wasn't drilled all the way through, and then I chased the threads with a die. Anyway, so long story short, I never got that to work. I improved it, but first time I hit something really hard when I'm turning something, and it wanted to bind up, it would break loose and the pulley would go spinning again. So anyway, what do I do now? I don't want to replace the motor. So out of desperation, really, I thought, well, I'll clean that shaft and the pulley up really good with acetone. The shaft is so scored, it provides a good surface for epoxy. So anyway, I mixed up some JB Weld and put it on there, and it's been working great. And I'm back on my project of turning rebar and threaded screws. The outcome really is the fact that what I thought were severe limitations of the lathe to be able to handle rough material like the rebar or the threaded rods was not in fact a shortcoming of the lathe, but it was that blooming bad pulley. And had I taken it apart, as per so many videos suggest, and probably rightly so, I wouldn't have caught that. I mean, I wouldn't have caught it. So anyway, it turned out well. And after my little speech here, I'm going to take some videos of actually turning some stuff on the lathe and showing you how, for one thing, it's very quiet now compared to before where it would rattle. It doesn't vibrate nearly as much. I still have trouble with the gibs loosening up. And I hate to put anything like a thread locking compound on there. Anyway, that's here again my lack of experience on how to deal with that. But it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to tighten those gibs up. And before I had allowed them to be loose, and that was purposeful because I'd rather the thing vibrate instead of locking down, which it was prone to do with that bad pulley. Now that the pulley has seems to be working fine, I've only had one stall, and that was a genuine stall. And the most amazing thing for me is how durable that little belt, that plastic belt is. I ordered 1 or 2 came with the machine, and I ordered 2 more. So I got quite an inventory, expecting that to be something that had to be changed often. And thank goodness it looks like it's not, because to put a brand new belt on requires a lot of disassembly. I don't want to have to do that. That would turn into at least an hour long process to change the blooming belt. So we'll see. And in some future video, I may, and certainly if the belt breaks, I want to do 2 things. I want to talk about am I pleased with that, or how long it lasted, and then I want to video the actual what I have to take down to put a new belt on, and mainly that if memory serves, it means taking off the drive screw gears to pull that plate off. That's the only way I can see that you can get to the top pulley. But anyway, not to be overly long on this introduction, let me get to the video itself. The main purpose here is to just show you how quiet it is. And after I drill out the end for the end stock to hold on to, and I do a cut, I do it rather deep, certainly a lot deeper than I would have ever been able to do until I fixed the pulley on the motor. And it slowed a couple of times, but it never stalled. But if I can take bites out like that, then it makes the work a lot faster. And remember, it struggles a little bit because this is threaded rod. So the cutting tool wants to try to follow the thread that's on there, which provides some difficulty. Okay.
Unfortunately, my camera cuts the sound down after, in other words, it adjusts the volume to a lower level, so you're not able to get the full effect I intended here.